Hey, I am State Representative Zach Mako from the 183rd District, Lehigh, Northampton counties, and I'm here with Agriculture Secretary Russell Redding. How are you,
Great
sir?
to see you. Happy
New Year to you.
Welcome to the Farm Show.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Always appreciate the Farm Show. It's the 108th year this year. We have a new theme, connecting our communities. We appreciate that. Just want to do a shameless plug for agriculture. It's the #1 industry in the Commonwealth.
Oh, good.
Of our beautiful Commonwealth, and we employ almost 600,000 jobs in the Commonwealth, and I think that's absolutely phenomenal. Plus, it keeps us fed. And so I got a couple questions for you. First, foremost, I always ask you about chronic wasting disease. What have we made any progress on that in the past year since we last spoke? And if we have, what is it?
The CWD is a problem for us, right? I just want to be upfront. I mean, we have tried and continue to try to find solutions to that. We've got research projects that are underway at the University of Pennsylvania, in Penn State, and other parts of the country. We're working with the U.S. Department of Agriculture on it. The truth is, it's a problem both inside and outside the fence.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
At some point, we've got to find a better way to address that, and I think working with the partners at Pennsylvania Game Commission is part of that answer. Because ultimately we've got to decide how to, its implications for our hunting industry and service industry. So we're still working at it, though, is the honest answer.
Are you finding that the containment zones are kind of working, though? It is helping the zones, and they're not really spreading too much?
Yeah, we've done, and thanks for pointing that out. I think it was one of those sort of management decisions we made a couple of years ago, is to have, to have the deer farmers particularly be able to still do business inside those controlled management zones.
Yep.
At the same time not spreading it. So it's working from that standpoint. We're finding better business models for it, but we still have the disease.
Yep. So my next question is on the spotted lanternfly. Once again, asked you about it last year. Have we made any progress? I know some of our universities and higher ed has been working on that, as you mentioned, with the chronic wasting. Are we making any progress on that, with the spotted lanternflies and combating that?
Yeah, we have. We've funded a number of research projects, and I think there's about 16 different research projects.
Cool.
Still working on finding that broad-based management technique for it, right? Meaning a broad-based spray. So if you think about gypsy moth, we're able to spray and do the aerial application. We're not there with spotted lanternfly, but we've got some really on-the-ground, good techniques, very efficient and effective over-the-counter treatments for that. The homeowners can apply, and we're seeing sort of a moderation in the spotted lanternfly. It's spreading, but we don't see those sort of intensity like we had in your district a couple of years ago. It's not like that all over the state. So we're making progress.
Good. Yeah, and I just had a thought about that. I think that's one of the reasons why the Farm Show is so important, because it highlights a Commonwealth-wide approach to some issues that we might be having. And I think that, can you just speak on why having a Commonwealth-wide Farm Show is so important to that aspect?
I think most of the folks coming through here, I mean, they appreciate ag at least 3 times a day.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
The reality is that most don't think about it, and to a credit of the industry, the ag industry, they don't have to.
Right.
But we need them to think about how that is made possible, right? It's not going to stay there just because you and I like it.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
It's not going to stay what we view as the open space and productive and food production. But we're also finding that some of these issues, whether it's CWD or spotted lanternfly, they don't really care. The diseases and pests, they don't care about who they're, right?
Getting the food.
It's the food system, it's that threat. So having the public aware of these are the types of things that we're trying to manage, and we need their help to both contain some of these invasive species and problems. We need their help.
Yep. And then my final question for you, sir, is talking to education and the education world and higher learning and higher ed. There's a big push for like data and software and all that. How does that, and I guess kind of in our theme of connecting our communities, how does that play into agriculture? Because I can imagine that data computation and input is huge in this emerging ag world that we live in. Can you just highlight a little bit on why like coding and software is important for the ag community?
Yeah, it's all of that technology comes to bear inside the machines that we have. It's embedded in the software that runs very complicated systems. The DNA, the genetics inside the seeds that you plant, that is all part of this data, right? And then you've got sort of the outward public side, where the data we use from purchasing decisions of consumers comes directly back into helping us make decisions about what to produce, where it grows, how do we market that. So we're fully integrated, to borrow the computer and the tech world's term. We're completely integrated. Another place that we're connected.
Perfect. Well, Secretary Redding, I really appreciate your time.
Good to see you. Thanks for your
Happy New Year.
support.